The people who are watching this are watching for one of two reasons. They know how fabulous you both are and they want to hear what you have to say, or because they know of all the fabulous work that CITL is doing and want to get information to help with their teaching practice. So I'd like you to just share any advice you may have that could help others in either Sarah, in your case, tackling that issue with generative AI, or Isabelle, in your case, implementing some of the innovative teaching that you're seeing in political science. So what advice would you have for the listeners out there?
When I think about generative AI and its impact on education broadly, I can see that some colleagues are overwhelmed with this and may even be resistant to it, resistant to the idea of its utility in education, and maybe philosophically opposed to generative AI as well. And these are important things to wrestle with, both from a perspective of philosophy and pedagogy, and also at the same time recognizing this technology is here to stay. And when I talk with colleagues who have not yet tried Gen AI in their teaching project, my number one bit of advice would be try it. Try something for yourself in a low stakes environment. Maybe it has nothing to do with teaching, for example. There's an application that I like to use with colleagues, and it's about how to break down a task into smaller tasks. And it can say something like, I don't know, how to plan a family dinner, and then get them to engage with the application in a way that has nothing to do with work to start, to kind of demystify it a little bit and spend a little bit of time with the applications. And then once you have familiarity with the application, the technology, I think we're then in a better place to make an informed decision about if or how this might be used in my teaching practice. Gen AI isn't appropriate to use in all teaching practices across all disciplines all the time. We still want students to have some internalized knowledge. When I go to the doctor, I want the doctor to know my anatomy. I don't want them to have to look it up on an app. And to be able for us as educators to disentangle when might it be appropriate to use Gen AI, and when is it not appropriate? In order to make those decisions, we have to have some basic AI literacy ourselves to make those informed decisions.
Isabelle?
To not be shy or to not be timid about combining research and teaching. I find that this is something that can be done at multiple levels, but also doesn't have to be necessarily in its like higher GA kind of, how we usually see their integration for student into a research project. But I think it's more about, going back to the point about modeling behavior, but it's also about introducing junior scholars to what research is, giving them the tools to be able to one day be able to do their own research, introducing them by, bringing them along on conferences so that their first experience with conference is one that is not a high stake possibility of failing in front of a big audience, but something where they can look at what other people are doing and then perhaps a second year to be able to present their own research. But I find that it's something that some colleagues are afraid of doing in full because they feel that, for instance, we don't have a graduate program in my department. So, undergraduate students, they're too new in the field for them to be able to really contribute to my research project. I think that's there are multiple. There's plenty of evidence that have shown that this is actually not the case at all, and that I've certainly benefited from it and integrated my students into my research project. And I like to think that students who have been integrated into my research project have also done great things. They've also been they've also benefited from it as well.
Fabulous. Thank you. Thank you both.